enough, James. We got all kinds of sports this weekend, but it's not enough. James Westling, Ari Tepkin. I don't know if you're getting what I'm putting down, but that's okay.
I think I am.
Okay.
It's never enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Are you a Kendrick Lamar fan or no?
Yeah, I like.
You know that beat, that song?
I know that one.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I
like Luther better than They Not Like Us, though.
Okay.
Yeah, just personal fave.
The song Luther.
Yeah.
Not more than Not Like Us.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. You're the one then. James Westling, Ari Tepkin, Big 12 Radio on TuneIn and Big 12 Studios. Great to have you with us today at Every Day here on your home for the Big 12 Conference. This is the Big 12. This is a different league, and we are powered by Modelo. And if you're watching us on Big 12 Studios, cheers to you, the full-time fan. You may be noticing that I'm wearing this pretty kickin' Kansas jacket.
You just said kickin', which fits for the PE class you'll be teaching later this afternoon at 2 Central. That's going to be what are we doing in class today?
Running.
Just running.
Lots of calisthenics.
A lot of running, calisthenics.
A lot of calisthenics.
Yeah.
Producer Taman?
He's going to start off by being, my name is Coach Temkin. You're going to call me that? He's going to go all in. He's going hard with it.
Please, just Dr. Temkin. That's all.
You got the basketball shoes on that goes with the whole fit. You look like a guy that's ready to challenge a 12-year-old to a free throw shooting contest. And I've seen you shoot free throws. My money's on the 12-year-old.
I mean, we got, James, I need to get into basketball here, but we got to talk about your shoe game because
what?
You wear shoes that say
my shoe game, bro.
You wear shoes that say, I like the shoe game, but I'm not really fully willing to invest in it.
Dude, I'm fully committed to the shoe game.
Like, you're in the kiddie pool of the shoe game.
Okay. And I took that personally, Taman.
I mean, I can't talk, so my shoe game sucks.
You've got ones on. He's got Jordan ones. James doesn't have any Jordans.
But I've got 3 pair of Dunks. Does that count?
No.
I know.
Yeah, no.
I know. Jordan enthusiasts, the purists, say that the Dunks are a disgrace.
No, Dunks are great. I love Dunks, but Dunks are a compliment to the Jordan catalog. At some point, we're gonna up your Jordan.
I actually like the Jordans better. They're more narrow. I've got a very narrow foot.
Everything with you is narrow.
Foot probs over here.
Just a very
lot
narrow.
Of shoes I can't wear, but the kill shots fit like a glove.
All right, so if you're watching me on Big 12 Studios, you may notice I wear this jacket. Big reason for that is because Kansas plays North Carolina tonight. So this is our first Hoops weekend, and it's full of variety. Normally, you're looking at like a Saturday slate of games. Well, we've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday for you. And I had to look this up, James. This is pretty wild. This is the first ever time that Kansas is playing in the Dean Dome. As many times as Kansas and North Carolina played, we talk about these 2 blue blood programs. The first time Kansas is playing in the Dean Dome, because these teams have played in the NCAA tournament. These programs have played on neutral sites. I mean, Kansas is going to play Duke next weekend at Madison Square Garden. That's normally, I guess, where these games are played. So how about that? Kansas, the program, playing for the first time ever in Chapel Hill at the Dean Dome.
Which is shocking to me.
Yeah.
I thought for sure they had played there. In fact, I thought this was a typo when I first read this. And they've played 13 times, but never at the Dean Dome in Chapel Hill. And I can't wait. I mean, there is a ton of strength-on-strength matchups. But I think Kansas has the edge when it comes to Bill Self. I was stunned that Hubert Davis got retained at North Carolina because the last couple of seasons they just haven't lived up to expectations. And I think he probably isn't back for this season if they don't make the NCAA tournament. They got hot towards the end of the year and got in the tournament as a 9 seed. But like Kansas, they have a lot of high-level freshmen. I mean, Caleb Wilson led them in scoring. He's a 6'10 forward who's a little bit A.J. DeBonsa-like. He had 22 points for them in their opener. And then it's a big game for Kyan Evans, who's a transfer guard who actually grew up in Kansas City, Missouri. So he knows a lot about that Kansas basketball program. And then old friend alert, Henry Vasar, the former Arizona big man, plays at North Carolina. So that's going to be a great matchup, Vasar against Flory Badunga, who I thought looked fantastic in KU's opener. He was running the floor. Remember, he grew up playing soccer. He has elite footwork for a big man, and he can get out and run. But it's Darren Peterson and Badunga against, I'd say, the big 3, Wilson, Evans, and Vasar for North Carolina.
Well, and Trimble as well. Don't forget about
Trimble.
the experienced guard. But you're right, and it's a great call on Vasar because he's the type of big that can spread the floor and move Badunga away from the bucket. Because Badunga had 3 blocks in the opener. I mean, he is a rim protector extraordinaire. So if Vasar's able to pull him away from the bucket because he can shoot from the perimeter, that's going to be, now all of a sudden North Carolina has some driving lanes. You mentioned last year. Remember the big stat with North Carolina last year in the lead up to the tournament? You remember the big stat with North Carolina?
Wasn't it that they didn't have a single quad 1 win?
1-8.
Yeah.
Against top 25 opponents. And yeah, I don't exactly remember what that looked like from a quad 1 standpoint, but
It was similar. It was bad.
1-8 last year against top 25 opponents. So they get an early crack here at a top 25 opponent at their own gym. We'll see if this year is any different. Here is what Bruce Pearl had to say. Bruce Pearl, a part of the panel on TNT, which we cannot say enough positive things about what TNT's coverage of the Big 12 has been, both in football and now in basketball, as we saw to open the season. But here's what Bruce Pearl said about Kansas.
What jumps out to me is at number 6, Kansas. Bill Self is not going to be down at the bottom of the Big 12 for much longer. He's got a pro, maybe the number 1 pick, and Darren Peterson. How good is the Big 12 when maybe the number 1 player taking the NBA draft on a Bill Self coach team is 6th?
Right.
So I think it's going to be a dogfight. And as I said Monday night, I think the Big 12 is going to challenge the SEC this year for the best and the deepest conference in college basketball.
Totally agree. That is
He would know.
He would know, and he's absolutely right. You've got the number 1 pick projected in the NBA draft on a Bill Self-coached Kansas team and their 6th or 5th or wherever they were in the Big 12 official
6th.
preseason poll.
6th.
That is nutty. And Joe Lunardi just dropped his power conference rankings this morning, and he has the Big 12 third, which is ludicrous. Absolutely nuts. He's got the Big 10 number 1, the SEC number 2, and the Big 12 number 3. Now, my point with that is it magnifies the importance of these type of games for the Big 12. And I just think Darren Peterson is about to put on a show. And the nation doesn't realize how much improved Flory Badunga is and the flashes that we saw from him last season when he was coming off the bench. I think this is going to be a very much Kansas is back type of game tonight in Chapel Hill.
Love to hear you talk about Kansas basketball. The number 1 Kansas basketball fan, James Westlake, I am Ari Tepkin. This is Big 12 today. And look, I'll continue to bang this drum because I think it's super important. But, it might be just the second game of the season. And, UCF plays Vanderbilt this weekend and Baylor plays Washington. So there's some Power 4 matchups here and Big 12 SEC matchups, Big 12 Big 10 matchups. But I guess it's Power 5 in basketball because the Big East is power conference. So I beg your pardon. But like the quad system is set in motion by what you do in the non-conference, right? You're going to go 500 as a conference when you play each other. So once you get into conference play, you can't do much more to solidify your conference's standings. So we talked about this in the non-conference for the Big 12 in football, but it's maybe more enhanced in basketball because all of the conversations as we move closer and closer to the tournament are framed around quad 1, quad 2, quad 3, quad 4 wins and losses. And that is set in motion by what you do in the non-conference. So as much as we think about these early season games as being just that, early season matchups in a long season, in many ways they set in motion the future of this season because you don't get those wins, suddenly your league is third, and now you don't have as many quad 1 wins available in league play as you might when the league is number 1 or number 2.
And remember last year, the Big 12 got off to a very slow start. Arizona started 4-5 in the non-conference. Houston lost 2 games early. They lost to San Diego State, and they got beat by Alabama. Kansas probably had the best wins in the Big 12 in the non-conference.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity for the league to show just how good it is early in the season. And last year, the Big 12 really had to prove itself in the NCAA tournament. Everybody thought that Houston was the weakest 1 seed. Everybody thought that Texas Tech was not as dangerous as they proved to be going to the Elite Eight. Everybody was sleeping on BYU, and they made a run to the Sweet 16. So going into the tournament, it felt like because of what the league did in the non-conference, there was just kind of this stigma about the Big 12 that it wasn't as strong as it's been in years past. Yet in the NCAA tournament, the league balled out. So this is a chance, these non-conference Power 5 matchups, to your point, it's really important for the conference. And the quad system is really confusing, and we're going to talk about it a lot. But essentially, the NCAA breaks down 4 categories when it comes to your quality of wins and losses, quad 1 through 4. and it's a ranking system, but an elite win or a loss that's on the road against a top 75 team, it's weighted for home and away, and we can describe the whole thing in a much better, much
It is
more
super
condensed
confusing
manner.
I mean, it is so NCAA. It's like
a lot of numbers.
and not only that, but then it changes.
Yeah.
So like you may have a quad 1 win that suddenly becomes a quad 2 win.
Yep.
It's bizarre.
So
You're right.
just
super confusing.
Quad 1 alone, a quad 1 game is against a home team that's ranked in the top 30, a neutral site game against somebody ranked in the top 50, and an away game against somebody ranked in the top 75. So see, it's different based off if you're home, neutral, or away, and then it's tiered from there. But it's a lot of numbers.
If you beat the 31st ranked team though at home,
then it's a quad 2.
it's a horrible win. What a terrible win. 30 is a great win. 31 though, please.
There's been a lot of talk about that.
Yeah.
And if Kansas beats North Carolina on the road, there's no doubt that it will be a quad 1 win. But their win over Green Bay at home was a quad 4 win. So the NCAA is heavily weighted on the high-quality matchups and how many of those games you win come March.
When it comes to Kansas' specific roster, you mentioned Darren Peterson. He has been dealing with some cramps. And here's what Bill Self had to say about what Darren Peterson is dealing with.
It's concerning because, we're not going to be near as effective, him playing, 16 minutes a game, but it's something that we don't anticipate being anything that lasts. But, we're taking it serious and feel like that we're in better shape than we were, obviously, a week ago.
All right, so we'll see how Kansas manages that. Darren Peterson in his debut had 22 points in 21 minutes of action, so limited time for him against Green Bay and a program and a team that Kansas was able to take care of business pretty easily against. All right, so other action on the hardwood this weekend. Also tonight, Georgia State visits Cincinnati, Sam Houston visits Texas Tech, and Utah Tech, Arizona. Could be a sneaky game. Utah Tech is the team that it feels like every year it's like this guy transferred from Utah Tech. They always have talent that's always going elsewhere, but for the time being, they're 2-0. That's a game on TNT as well tonight. So Arizona looking to hold serve and substantiate that win to start the season even further against the Utah Tech team that could be a little bit sneaky. Tomorrow, Towson, Houston, Vanderbilt, UCF, Eastern Washington, Colorado, Weber State, Utah, Bellarmine, K-State, and Holy Cross, BYU. Bellarmine also another one of those potential sneaky programs. But Vanderbilt visiting UCF will be interesting. Vanderbilt's kind of a rebuilt team this year. I think they have 3 returning scholarship players from last year's roster. And UCF also a similarly different team. They struggled in their first win of the season against a Hofstra team that they probably should have beaten pretty badly. So we'll see how they do Saturday afternoon against Vanderbilt at home.
Yeah, this is a big year for Johnny Dawkins at UCF. They've been in the league now for 2 years. This is year 3, and his first year they go 17-16. Last year they got to 20 wins. They went 20-17, even with Keyshawn Hall on an Auburn team that made it, to the Final Four. This is a big year for him to show that there has been growth at UCF, and I look ahead to Sunday's slate because we'll come back on Monday. But Washington at Baylor is a massive game for the Baylor Bears in the conference. And then also
A&M, yeah.
Don't sleep on Texas A&M at Oklahoma State.
No, you're right. I've been sleeping on it. I don't know why. Because we were talking all show about these 3 Power 5 matchups, right. And for some reason that game slipped through the cracks. And by the way, Utah Tech plays Arizona tonight,
and then
Arizona State on Sunday.
Yeah. Utah Tech. But Texas A&M, Oklahoma State, that is a winnable game that I expect Oklahoma State to win.
Yeah.
If Steve Lutt's in year 2, all the talent they've brought in there, they've got former 4-star guys, they've got guys that were double-figure scorers at their last stop and they're not just high-ceiling guys, they're guys that have experience and have been productive at other schools and power conferences, that with this new NIL basketball commitment from Oklahoma State, they should be much better this year. And Texas A&M has a new coach. Buzz Williams has left Texas A&M. I couldn't tell you who their coach is as we sit here today, but they're 2-0, and that's a team that Oklahoma State should beat. If you can tell me right now without looking it up who the basketball coach is at Texas A&M, I'll give you $100.
Bucky. Buckyball.
Who?
Bucky McMillan. You don't remember Bucky?
You didn't know that until you Googled it. And Taman definitely didn't know that.
Hey, don't call me out.
It's not Speedy Claxton, so Taman wouldn't know.
Shout out to Speedy Claxton.
Shout out to Bucky
Roll Pride.
McMillan, the
Oklahoma State's going to beat Texas A&M.
former UAB coach, Bucky
Sunday.
McMillan. And that would be a huge win. That would be a quad one win if they do. And, Baylor, Washington, that's a really good. Washington's kind of a sleeper in the Big Ten right now in terms of being a potential Big Ten champion. Like, they're going to be good. So, yeah, this is going to be a great opening hoops weekend with those 4, stand corrected, 4. For some reason, I overlooked that game on the schedule. 4 Power 5 matchups, plus 2 Big 12 teams both play Utah Tech this weekend somehow. Big 12 Radio, this is Big 12 Today, along with James Westling. I'm Ari Tepkin. Taman Turner is our producer, and we are coming to you on TuneIn as well as Big 12 Studios. If you want to watch us on Big 12 Studios, go to big12studios.com to find all the different platforms in which you can watch and stream the show visually. And, of course, you can always get us on the radio, on TuneIn. If you've not yet already, make sure to download the TuneIn app. All right, we're going to pick the games, the Week 11 games coming up here in a moment. But on the way next, if you have not yet heard from Tommy Lloyd, you are not going to want to miss friend of the program, Tommy Lloyd. He loves to give James the bleep, so you're not going to want to miss him calling out James next. This is Big 12 Radio, presented by Modelo, heard on TuneIn and watched on Big 12 Studios.